Hello, YouTubers. Welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome to Beth Talks. And please don't forget to hit the little thumbs up button. Subscribe if you like what I have to share with you. And share it with others if you know somebody that could benefit from what I'm about to share with you. Beth Talks is my story. This is a channel where I am sharing my healing and my path and my transition with the world, leaving a legacy for my children so that they can reflect back on their mother's life and benefit from my story as well. And I said, you know what? Why just keep it to my children? Because there are other people out there in the world who have been through the same sort of things as myself, and sometimes, a lot of times, much worse than myself. So I hope that you will stay and listen to my story, because if it doesn't resonate with you or help you in some way, that you might know somebody that it can help. So today I was really not wanting to do this subject. I kind of fought with myself because it's a bit of an uncomfortable subject. So if you're a bit squeamish about talking about uncomfortable things, this might not be the video for you. And that's okay. It's my story. I'm here to share it if you don't want it. That's okay. I hope you'll stay. One real quick reminder before I get into the video though. Last week's video, I was so excited to have a visitor on Beth Talks, and I did an interview with a local author who has, he's a mindfulness meditation coach, and he has some amazing things to share with people. We have created an event that is up and coming on November 22nd. I'm super excited about that, and I might be able to find a way to share it here on my channel as well, hopefully. So if you're open to a little more information about that, check out my video from last week, and I will also share my link to my Facebook. So I'll be updating my Facebook with that event reminder as well. So onto my subject. So I wanted to talk today about childhood sexual abuse. And there are three things that I'd like to point out about this subject. Number one is, why don't we feel comfortable talking about this? It's kind of silly to me because, you know, in our society, and when I say our society, I don't mean just my country. I just mean like the entire world. This is a World Wide Web. So when it comes to any kind of abuse, there's always some kind of social shaming that's attached to it, which I think is sad, because if you have ever been abused, you did nothing wrong. So why would you be ashamed to talk about it? Why would you want to feel any kind of negative way about sharing that story? Because you had nothing to do with that decision. I want to share a little bit of my story with you to kind of give you a little background on my history. And I really went in deep depth about my history on my very first video I did here on my channel. And I talked a little bit about my childhood abuse. I grew up with a lot of sickness around me. I didn't really have a father. I had an abuser, and I was touched by 6 different men before I was even age 12. And sorry if that's uncomfortable to say, but it's important to have a little background so you know what I'm talking about. Having this first introduction of self and love when I was born into sickness, that sickness kind of become a part of me. So it created a life path of a lot of lessons, which I'm really grateful for, because I had to overcome a lot of subconscious emotional attachments that, had I not made the decisions that I made throughout my life, I would have never come to that conclusion of realizing that my decision-making abilities were attached to my childhood that I had nothing to do with. I had no decision in what had happened to me as a child. And if you're one of us that have survived through a childhood abuse, whether it be sexual abuse, emotional abuse, or physical abuse, you can relate to this. I think that, you have some little bit of a level of shame in talking about things that happen to you, especially as a child, because you had no voice when you were a child. And so those sort of things got buried into you and became a part of your core subconscious reactions to emotional triggers in your life. So in my journey, I've done a lot of self-assessment, and especially because of recent life changes that have just exploded into really big, awe-inspiring, self-developmental actions, I guess you could say. So my path has brought me to an inspirational, pivotal point of my life where I have an opportunity to change and assess things from a different perspective. So back to my point, why don't we talk about these sort of things? I think it's important to talk about these sort of things because the more we put that out in the open, it takes power away from the shame of it. So nobody should ever be ashamed of anything that you are. You should never be ashamed of anything you've done. And you certainly should never be ashamed of anything that has been done to you. Talk about it. Be open. And you don't have to talk about it publicly like I do. I know I'm a little nuts. I'm pretty certain all my children know I'm a little crazy, but that's okay because that craziness has created me. And because this is a little FYI, because this is a little bit personal, this video is a lot for me just as much as it is for you. So it might be a little bit longer than some of my past videos, but I have some things to say and I'm not going to worry about time constraints. If you have time to listen to my story, I am grateful. If you don't, and it's probably not anything that you need to hear right now. So that being said, I'm going on to my point number 2. Hurt people. So it's really important to heal. So if you've ever done anything to anybody that has hurt them, if your decisions or words that you have said have hurt someone, then you're human. Nobody's perfect. But if you actually acknowledge that hurt, then it gives you power to correct it so you don't have to continue hurting people. Because when you hurt people, you hurt yourself, and that's what stays with you. So just have conversations with yourself about what your real actions are and who you want to be. So, on to number 3. What was done to you does not define you. What any abuser has done to a victim, that's their karma. That has nothing to do with you. But how you heal it, that is your karma. So, back to healing. It just takes acknowledgement to heal something and to recognize it and say, you know what? I'm not going to let that control me anymore. I'm not going to accept less than I'm worth because of something that had nothing to do with me. I'm not going to accept judgments of others because that has nothing to do with me. I'm not going to accept social shame for my decisions because that has nothing to do with me. This is your world. You're living your life, and nobody can tell you how to do that. But I can tell you one thing. When you start to heal yourself, you can help heal others. And that is the biggest reward you can ever receive. My daughter said something to me the other day that just lit up my world. She said, Mom, she said, of all the people in my life and all the moments that I've had with you in my life, right now, this time of your life, when you have nothing and you're growing and learning and becoming someone new, she said, Mom, I've never admired anyone in the world as much as I admire you right now. That was astounding. And I just want to really give some gratitude to my kids because they've been through a lot of crap too. And if it wasn't for my son, I could have never started a new life. He has loved me and supported me. He's an amazing person, and he has overcome so many different challenges already as such a young life. I'm pretty sure he thinks I'm a little nuts, but that's okay. He loves me. And my daughters, they completely get me, and they inspire me to be a better me. And so I just tell you, I am so lucky to have my kids, because you know what's amazing when you get older and your kids start becoming adults, and you start seeing yourself in your kids, it's like skyrocketing your personal development. If you really truly see yourself in your kids, you learn so much from them. And that is what's amazing about being a parent, because, you teach them growing up, it's always like you're the parent, you teach them, blah, blah, blah. When they become adults, they teach you. And that's the power of parenthood. So, but it doesn't just stop there. It doesn't just stop with your kids, because you inspire me. Anybody that's watching this video is inspiring to me, just sitting here listening to me talk for this long. So there is every day somebody that crosses my path that inspires me, whether it's a perfect stranger that has just out of the goodness of their heart paid for my stuff at the counter, a stranger that helped replace my key when I locked my key in the car and he tried for 2 hours trying to help me get in, and then actually drove me 30 minutes to get a key. The perfect stranger that holds a door open for you at the store out of the goodness of their heart. You don't just learn from your own kids, you learn from every human being that crosses your path every day. So if you just keep that in mind, you can continue to inspire other people too. So that's all I got for today. I hope this made sense. And I hope you got something out of it. So I love you guys. Thank you for watching. And please check out last week's video for the upcoming event. And I'll be putting the links up in the description box for my Facebook, so you can also check out the information on that. So that's it. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I love you. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget the like button. I love those little likes. Okay, have a great day. Peace out.